Rolling.
A happy new month. So
What's in the meal?
happy new month to you guys. Today we are going to learn about plants that you can keep in your shaded spaces, and I am sure you want to know what they are. You can keep them in your balcony, under the trees, or on your windowsills. So we'll have three different types of plants, and they are bordering between the succulents and the cacti. So I have the Haworthias, I have the Echeverias, and I have the cacti. Okay, so we'll start off the whole process, you know, from the compost, the manure, the mixing of everything, the potting, to the final product. Just hang in there, hang in there. I'll use cow manure and compost that I've prepared in my backyard. Okay, so here is my cow manure. Just make sure it's completely dry. Okay, and this is my compost. Yeah, and it's kind of moist, which is good. So one pack. It's a fat one. I need to break them down into smaller pieces. So that's one part manure, and then pour it out. Oops. Okay, so these are small things that you could do when you're at home and you have spare time, or you create the spare time. Because I can assure you they don't do this kind of mixing in the big factories. Nah, they use machines. Well, they have many more people to do this. This is just for you only. And we are ready. Gosh, it has lots of debris, but it will work. Okay, we are ready. We can go ahead and plant. See that you pad the soil, just firm it, and ensure that you leave a gap between the soil and the edge of a container so that you have space for water to, you know, otherwise it means if you fill it up, you will add water and it will just spill all over, and you don't want to mess your house. So that is already done. The next step is to choose what we are going to plant. I won't call them seedlings, but it's cuttings. All right, so let's choose the cuttings. So we start off with Echeveria. I think it's one of my favorites. They're easy to grow. There are two ways. You could either have offshoots, and the second way is you could use the leaves. For you to use the leaves, you need to pluck them out and then place them in their growers. But importantly, if you can allow them to dry for a day or two, just to avoid the rotting process, it will be okay. But anyway, so If you're not able to wait, just cut. In fact, it's plucking. Pluck them off and then just place them on your growing medium and wait for a while. For those who are like me, as in very patient, just give yourself a month plus for it to show any signs of growth, because it starts off with a rooting system and then you have the floret coming out. For those who don't, then I think you can leave it to the professionals. They'll tell you in a few days or in a week or so, this thing, you know, they'll use their magic powders and they'll have the florets growing. But that's if you need huge numbers, as in if you want like 1,000 of this, clearly you can't use my kind of method. My kind of method is for me and you. So let's do this. Just pluck it. Good to note, huh? See the difference in colors? One looks slightly yellow and the other one is very green. The slightly yellow one is better, because what happens if you look at the tip is pinkish. Okay, that means it's slightly dry. If I remove the fresh one, I don't know if you can see the difference, but one is more pink than the other. So you want the one that is more pink. It's more dry, the roots will come out faster. This has to go into this for it to root. That's my observation anyway. So for the Haworthias, you need to remove the ones that are more mature, very mature, and mostly you'll find them at the bottom of the plant, just before the roots. That's not the one. Yeah. So all you do is also you snap it, and for the Haworthias, you need to keep them for a few days so that they dry off a little bit. Yeah. And then you can plant. And that's it for the Haworthias. Next we work on the Golden Cactus. All right, just make sure you have your gloves on if you're not as daring as I am. So you need to snap one of this, and then I'll show you what to do. It's quite easy. Or is it? That's done. Oh, and it has a root. So, and this one just happens to have a root. So I guess the first one will grow really fast as compared to the others. So this is what you shall plant. I'll cut it into two, or depending on how big it is, then you can just try and think of how many you need. Just give it one clean cut, and then keep it in a shaded area for like 3 or 4 days. And as soon as the green area heals, then you're ready to plant. The reason why you do this is because you don't want, again, your cuttings to rot. Okay, so yeah. So just be careful if you're using a razor blade not to cut your hands. I'm only using it because I don't have a scalpel. Super. So this we shall store for 3 to 4 days, and as soon as, let me show you, this part dries, yeah, as soon as it dries, then it will be ready to plant. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the cuttings that I got, but please make sure you follow the instructions that I told you. So this is pretty easy. All you need to do is lay down your cuttings, and that is basically for the Echeveria. I always say that they seem to know where the soil is. They can smell it, and funny enough, all the roots will come out facing down. All right. As for the Haworthias, remember you've kept them for a few days and they're dry. What you need to do now is to poke them in your soil and just let them be. For your cocktail for the golden tail, we're going to use the part one that has the roots, and the other section is a bit dry. That's for the purpose of this video. Okay. Always get a glove. I guess one of these days you'll take me shopping to go and look for gloves. All right, that's all ready to go. And we have our Echeverias, Haworthias, and the golden tail cactus. Just remember to water them, yeah? Otherwise you'll come back and find you're still in stage 1, nothing has happened. So give them a good soak. A clear container will allow you to see how far the water has gone. Okay, let's wait and see and allow it to soak, and just leave it out there. I have some that I had planted earlier, and I think it is nice that you just have a look. That's the Echeveria. Clearly I got a double portion. And my golden tail cactus, it just got that happening. And as long as you're patient enough, trust me, this will happen. This will happen. And the last one. Woohoo! Did you see that? It just gave birth to that. It's just been here for a while, and that's why they've all come out, and I've allowed them to thrive in there. Wish you a happy planting. See you next time.